Hi, I'm Jay Stewart. I'm here with Chuck Purgason, who's running for U.S. Senate. Chuck, I heard a lot about you. You're running a good campaign. Your name's out there. Why exactly are you running for Senate?
I'm frustrated, like a lot of people around this country right now. And I think the silent majority are beginning to wake up. I began my quest, my own private Tea Party, I guess, in 1995. Because I became frustrated. I couldn't understand a government that continued to punish me the harder I worked and the more I earned. So I got frustrated, decided to run for office and tried to do something about it because I believe in smaller government. And unfortunately, that's the different direction that we're going right now. We're going into bigger deficits. We're going into an area that even our children aren't going to be able to pay for. So it's very frustrating to me, and I think that's what you're seeing all across this country and why people are here today is they're concerned about that debt that we're going to pass on to our children and our grandchildren.
You hear a lot about conservatives saying the Republicans ran up a big debt when they were in power, and that they spent money like drunken sailors, whatever. Specifically, what bills that you think caused the debt would you have made different decisions on, and how would you have solved the problems that were supposed to be addressed by those measures?
Well, I'm a Republican not because of the Republican name sounds good. I'm a Republican because I believe in balanced budgets. And I totally agree with you. In 2000 from 2006, we had Republicans in charge, and you would expect a party that believes in balanced budgets, that's what we would have done. But instead, the people we've elected didn't follow the principles of our party, and we rung up $1.4 trillion worth of debt, and we added $8 trillion of unfunded liabilities to the nation. And that is inexcusable. And to give those people an advancement into a bigger body knowing they failed at a job when they had the opportunity to lead, we shouldn't wonder why we keep getting the same thing out of Washington.
Are there a couple specific measures that were passed by the Republicans that you think really led us down this road? And what would you have done if you were in charge, if you were a leader, minority?
I would only have voted for a balanced budget. I would have voted not for the TARP program, because I think what that did was begin the process of setting up winners and losers in a free market system. Anyone that voted for TARP thinks bureaucrats and the government can spend money more wisely than the people that earn it. And that simply passed debt from the people that caused it to the taxpayer, which is you and I, which it will in turn be passed on to our children and grandchildren. So those are a few of the issues, but the biggest thing was the failed opportunities. We had opportunities to reform healthcare, and we didn't do it. And what I found out is it's easy to be a leader when you're in a minority.
Right.
The tough part is being a leader when you're a majority and actually following through and doing things that you run on and are pledged to do under our Constitution and believe in as a Republican in the Republican Party.
Okay. It seems as though right now, in terms of the national forefront, the debate is going more towards fiscal issues and immigration. How do you feel in terms of what your role as, let's say, assuming you win, your role as a senator, what role do you think that the conservatives and Republicans have in terms of our military? Do you think we're paying enough attention to them? Better, or?
I think that we can argue about a lot of things, but we cannot be strong as a nation if we fail financially. We cannot fund the military if we go broke. We cannot fund the basic things that government needs to be involved in under Article 1, Section 8 if we cannot fund them. We have to stop the debt. We have to stop the spending. Otherwise, every aspect of government that should be done by the federal government will fail because we simply cannot pay for it and will fail financially. So we can worry about all the brush fires that are springing up right now, but until we control this debt, until we control
brush
this
fires,
spending,
you mean national, international?
Look, I think that healthcare is an opportunity. We're going into a system of healthcare that we simply cannot afford. 1/6 of our economy is going into this when we're broke. And that's another failure of Republicans. We had an opportunity to do things related to healthcare when we were in the majority. We couldn't stand to even get it done. And now we're fighting out brush fires that would never have been allowed to happen if we'd have done our job when we had the opportunity. We started the process of deficit spending. Republicans in Congress allowed the TARP program, additional spending. we could have set an opportunity for America, and I believe if we'd have done our job of balancing the budget, we would still be in the majority now because the people across this country would have rewarded us for doing our job.
Well, the Democrats were calling the Republicans out in 04 and 05 for not signing. They proposed a balanced budget amendment. Of course, it was really more of a balanced tax amendment. The bottom line is, I see what you're saying.
Every party in the minority has big ideas.
Right, right.
But when it comes to lead, you have to lead. And that's one thing I did in the Missouri Senate. You know, I carried legislation, took the heat, we passed legislation that reduced government. It's tough being in the minority.
Missouri does have a good track record with that. One final thing. If you win as U.S. Senator from Missouri, what would be your first project, or first thing that you want to get done the first half a year of what happens?
Number one, you have to balance the budget. Number two, you have to return the federal government back to the confines of the Constitution. What is the role of government in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution? And then you've got to redo the tax code to get the economic development and the entrepreneurship across the country back into gear, because if we're going to climb out of this, small business is going to lead the way. And we've got to fire up entrepreneurs to have faith in this economy, to go out and put their money at risk and hire people, and have government begin to reward people for working hard and hiring people.
Thank you, Chuck Purgason, for USA. Thank you very much.
Thank you.